have chosen someone for you. Their name is already written into the path I have laid beneath your feet. You have not seen them yet, but your spirit has already begun to sense their presence. There is a deep reason why your heart has been so restless lately, in ways you could never quite explain. There's a reason certain heartfelt prayers kept rising from a place deep within you. A place much deeper than your ordinary thoughts could ever reach. I was stirring something inside your soul. I was carefully preparing you. Please, do not turn away from what I am about to speak into your life right now. This is not just a passing moment, and it is not something you will ever hear again in this exact same way. I am drawing incredibly near to you now because you are standing right at the edge of a doorway that has been beautifully forming long before you ever noticed it was there. What waits for you on the other side is completely real. What waits on the other side carries immense spiritual weight, and it has your specific name written upon it just as much as it has theirs. I know you have wondered. I know the heavy silence in your quiet nights has sometimes felt far more crushing than you ever let anyone else see. You have carried deep, painful questions about whether a true, lasting connection would ever find its way to your life, or whether you would always be the one left standing on the outside, looking longingly at something you desired with all your heart. I have never been absent from those lonely moments. I was fully present in every single one of them, and I was already building the perfect answer for you, even while you were still struggling to form the question. The person I am speaking of is not a stranger to my divine plan. They are absolutely not someone who just wandered into your future by pure accident or luck. I placed them intentionally in the grand design of your life long before either of you could ever understand it. And when your paths finally cross, there will be something deep inside you that simply knows. It will be something quiet, something certain, something profoundly deep that does not need to shout to be believed. It will rise beautifully in your chest like a breath you did not even realize you were holding. And the sudden release of it will feel like the most natural, peaceful thing you have ever experienced in your life. Declare your faith now. If this prophetic word has reached your spirit, you may have wondered why certain past things did not work out the way you hoped. You may have replayed those painful moments over and over in your mind, searching desperately for what went wrong, asking yourself if you could have done something differently to save it. I want you to hear this truth clearly tonight. Those endings were not a form of punishment. They were a form of divine protection. I closed those doors because what stood behind them would never have held you the way you truly needed to be held. I did not remove those connections from your life just to leave you empty and broken. I removed them to make room, and now that empty room is finally being filled. It is not being filled with something fragile and not with something uncertain, but with a beautiful blessing that has been tested in my own hands before it ever reaches yours. This person has walked through their own intense fires. They have carried their own heavy questions through the dark, and the very trials that shaped them are the exact things that will allow them to meet you right where you are, without flinching and without turning away from your wounds. I did not design this divine connection for the sake of comfort alone. I designed it for a grand purpose. When you finally stand together, something massive will shift, not just in your heart, but in the entire direction of your life. You will look back at the long, grueling roads you have walked and the deep valleys you assumed would break you, and you will see a clear line that runs perfectly through all of it. It is a single, unshakable thread pulling you toward this very moment. This is not something I do lightly. I do not arrange human lives on a casual whim. Every encounter you faced, every painful loss you endured, and every long season of quiet endurance has been a necessary brushstroke on a much larger masterpiece, and now that work is nearing its perfect completion. This is not the end of your story. It is the glorious beginning of a brand new chapter that will completely redefine every single one that came before it. I know your natural instinct may be to heavily guard your heart. I know that trust does not come easily after the heavy burdens you have carried. But hear me clearly when I say this. What I am bringing into your life right now is not built from the same fragile materials that failed you before. This is entirely different ground, and the foundation has already been tested and proven. Stay with me. There is so much more I need to say to your soul. And what comes next will permanently settle things in your spirit. Things that have been deeply unsettled for far too long. The name that belongs to this person is not something you will ever need to chase or beg for. It will come to you naturally. It will arrive in a way that makes your spirit pause, not with a sense of fear, but with a recognition so deep it will feel as though you have always known them. Even when your analytical mind tries to tell you otherwise, you know this is real. You have been asking for a sign. You have been whispering desperate prayers into the dark, hoping something would finally answer you back with absolute clarity instead of a heavy silence. I am answering your prayers now. Not all at once, because that is not how I operate. I reveal my plans the way the dawn breaks, gradually, gently, until what was once hidden in the dark becomes completely impossible to miss. Do not rush ahead of what I am currently doing. Do not try to manufacture a forced result before the ground is fully ready. There is a massive difference between being eager and being impatient, and right now, I need you to stand firmly on the side of radical trust. What belongs to your destiny will never pass you by. I am guiding it directly to your path, but the timing belongs exclusively to me, and my timing is perfectly precise. I have watched you move through grueling seasons where you continuously gave far more than you ever received. I have seen how carefully and beautifully you held on to hope, even when nothing around you seemed to justify it. That was absolutely not foolishness. That was the definitive mark of a resilient spirit that still believes despite everything it has suffered. And that faith has not gone unnoticed by the throne. It has been weighed, it has been honored, and it is the exact thing that has brought you here to this sacred place, where what I am building behind the scenes is about to become fully visible to your eyes. So listen closely. Let nothing around you pull your attention away from what I am speaking over your life. What I have set aside for you is already in motion, and the name attached to it is much closer than you think. There is a profound reason why I am not showing you the entire picture all at once. If I laid everything before your eyes in a single moment, you would instinctively try to control it. You would try to grip it tightly with both hands and shape it according to your own human understanding. But your understanding, as honest as it may be, is still limited by the pain of what you have already lived through. I see much further. I see the full arc of what this connection is meant to become, and I'm asking you to walk hand in hand with me into it, taking it one step at a time. This person I have handpicked for your life is not walking the same mundane road you have walked before. They carry something completely different. Not in the shallow way the world measures difference, but in the profound way your spirit will instantly feel it. There will be an unshakable steadiness about them that does not waver when the heavy pressures of life arrive. And that steadiness is not something they merely manufactured. It is something I built deeply into their character through every trial they have endured and survived. You will notice it immediately in the way they speak to you, not loud, not performing for approval, but measured, calm, and deeply honest. You will notice it in how they beautifully hold space for your silence without rushing in panic to fill it. And you will notice it in the way your own breathing slows down whenever you are near them. as though something deep inside your soul has finally been given full permission to rest. That is not a coincidence. That is divine design. I want you to understand something vital about the way I bring people together. I do not match superficial surfaces. I do not pair what looks compatible on the outside and leave deep inside to pure chance. I go much deeper. I look closely at the fractures, the longings, and the sacred places where inner strength was forged through intense suffering. And I perfectly align those hidden contours with someone whose own shape fits the empty spaces you carry. This is precisely why it will feel completely different from anything you've known. This is why it will feel right in a way nothing before it ever did. Say it aloud. Say, I believe, if your heart is receiving what I am telling you tonight. There have been connections in your past that completely drained your spirit. You gave freely of your love, and what came back to you was nothing but cold silence, confusion, or deceptive words that did not match actions. You learned to read people with extreme caution because trusting others had cost you far too much before. I watched all of that happen to you. I saw the high walls go up around your heart. I did not condemn you for building those defenses, but now I am asking you to let me walk right through them. Because what I am bringing into your life requires an open gate, not a locked one. This does not mean you abandon your wisdom. It simply means you allow trust to lead the way where fear once stood guard. I am not asking you to be reckless with your heart. I am asking you to be willing. There is a wide distance between the two, and I need you standing firmly on the side of willingness. The gate does not need to swing wide open all at once. It simply needs to be unlocked, and my hand is already on the latch. The name that is approaching your life will arrive without any human force or manipulation. You will never have to search for it desperately. It will appear in your awareness the way a forgotten word suddenly surfaces when you have been trying to remember it for days. And then suddenly, without any effort at all, it is just there. That is exactly how I move. I do not impose, I reveal. And what I reveal carries the full weight of absolute certainty because it was never uncertain to begin with. Pay close attention to what repeats in your life. Pay attention to what keeps returning to your thoughts, even when you have not invited it. This is not your mind playing tricks on you. This is me pointing the way. I leave clear markers on your path, the exact same way a river patiently cuts marks into solid stone, not with violence, but with a steady patience over time, until the shape becomes completely unmistakable. You are much closer to this breakthrough than you think. And the distance between where you are right now and where this connection begins is not measured in months or years. It is measured entirely in your readiness. When your heart finally reaches the place I have been preparing it for, the door will open wide. Not slowly, and not halfway, but fully. There is something else I want to address directly, because I know it sits heavily in the back of your mind, even when you try your best to push it aside. You have wondered deep down whether you even deserve this kind of blessing. You have looked at your own painful history and questioned whether someone like you could ever receive something this significant. I need you to hear me clearly. Your past does not disqualify you from my favor. The mistakes you have made carry zero power to erase what I have written for your future. I do not hold those things over your head. I have already released them completely. The real question is whether you will finally choose to release them too. Let go of the harsh verdict you have placed on your own soul. It does not carry my signature. I never wrote it, and it holds absolutely no authority over what I am about to perform in your life. You are worthy of this breakthrough, not because you earned it through perfection, but because I declared it over your life. And what I declare does not bend to the negative opinions of those who do not know your full story. This person will not come to you demanding proof of your worth. They will not weigh your past on a scale, and decide whether you measure up to their standards. That is absolutely not how I designed them to see you. They will look at you the exact way I do, with an understanding that goes far beneath the surface, and with a patience that does not flinch at what is honest, raw, and imperfect. And in that sacred space between two people who are completely done with pretending, something real and eternal will take root. I am telling you these things now because the ground is almost completely ready. What has been tilled in absolute secret is about to break through into the open light. And when it does, I do not want you standing at a distance, watching from a place of hesitation and fear. I want you close. I want you fully present. I want you completely ready to receive it with open hands instead of folded arms. The time for standing back has ended. The time for stepping forward has finally arrived. You have spent long stretches of time making yourself smaller so that others could feel comfortable around you. You have bent your words, softened your true needs, and swallowed your own voice just to keep the peace in places that were never truly peaceful to begin with. I saw all of it. I saw the immense cost to your soul, and I am telling you now that the person I am bringing into your life will never require you to shrink yourself. They will never ask you to hold back the fullness of who you are. They will not need you to perform a fake version of yourself just to be easier for them to manage. When you speak, they will listen with their whole heart. When you are still, they will simply stay beside you. That is exactly what it looks like when I arrange a connection, rather than leave your destiny to pure chance. There's a place in you that already recognizes this truth. You can feel it stirring beneath the doubt, beneath the questions, and beneath the old habit of guarding yourself from disappointment. That stirring is not anxiety. It is anticipation. Your spirit knows what your mind has not yet caught up with. And that is exactly why I'm asking you to trust what you feel, even before you can logically explain it. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight, upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is the proof that your trust rests securely in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to a mindset of lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the beautiful harvest I am preparing for your future. Every single seed you plant in this mission will grow into a powerful torch that shines brightly in someone else's darkness. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. By doing so, you become an active part of the mission to reach hurting souls who are still searching for the exact validation you just received. Every gift you give is like a stream of living water flowing directly into a life that is still waiting to be told they are loved. They are chosen, and they are not too far from rescue. This is not a mere donation. It is a profound act of spiritual obedience that opens your own hands to receive what I am preparing to place in them. Give, and it will be given to you is not only a verse, it is a living, breathing promise about your future. Now, let your faith speak. Declare your amen in the comments right now, and let that be the sound of your spirit agreeing completely with everything I have spoken over your life today. I have been working tirelessly in places you could not see. Behind the closed doors, beneath the failed conversations, and within the heavy silence that sometimes felt like utter abandonment. I was there. I was absolutely not standing idle. I was removing what needed to be removed, and strengthening what needed to remain. Your life is not random. The people who left your circle were not losses without logic. They were departures I permitted because their season was fully complete. And this new season, the one you are boldly stepping into now, requires a completely different kind of foundation. It requires two people who have been refined through fire, rather than two people who have simply found each other by accident. That is the definitive difference between what I build and what the world offers. What I build holds fast. What I build endures the storm. And what I am building between you and this person is meant to last far beyond the first season of difficulty, beyond the first disagreement, and long after the initial wonder settles into the steady rhythm of daily life. You will feel a powerful shift in the coming days. It may be subtle at first, a specific name that catches your attention out of nowhere, a face that stays in your memory longer than it should, or a casual conversation that lingers in your mind hours after it ends. These are absolutely not distractions. These are holy markers. I place them carefully in your path so that when the full picture becomes clear, you will remember that I was pointing toward it all along. Do not dismiss what feels significant to your soul. Do not explain away the moments that make your spirit pause. Those pauses are not accidents. They are invitations to look closer, to listen more carefully, and to pay attention in ways you have never been accustomed to paying attention before. I am sharpening your awareness because what is coming requires you to recognize it the moment it arrives. And true recognition requires a spirit that is wide awake, not dulled by worldly distraction or clouded by cynicism. There is a massive difference between merely hoping for something and being strategically positioned to receive it. Hope is important, but positioning is essential. I have been moving you into position without your conscious awareness. The internal shifts you have experienced, the changing priorities, and the fading interest in things that once consumed your time, all of that is part of my divine repositioning. You are being aligned, and alignment is rarely comfortable. It requires the release of things you have held tightly. But what waits on the other side of that release is worth infinitely more than what you are being asked to let go of. I promise you that. Not with empty words, but with the absolute authority of everything I am. What I am bringing into your life will prove itself in time, and it will never require you to defend it or justify it to anyone. It will stand firmly on its own. I know you are listening. I know something deep inside you has not moved from this moment. That is because this word was not meant to pass over you lightly. It was meant to land, and it has landed deeply. Now hold fast to it. Do not let the loud noise of tomorrow drown out what I have spoken to you here and now. The ground beneath your feet is shifting, and that is absolutely not a cause for alarm. It is a cause for readiness. When a field has been thoroughly plowed and watered, the shift in the soil is not destruction. It is the very beginning of growth. That is exactly what is happening in your life right now. I have been turning the earth of your heart, breaking up the hard places, and softening what had become rigid through disappointment. And now, something new is pushing through the surface. You cannot see the full shape of it yet, but you can feel the pressure of it rising. That quiet, persistent insistence that something is about to change. That is not wishful thinking. That is my hand at work beneath the surface. And I never plant what I do not intend to bring to a full harvest. So stay deeply anchored in what I have spoken. Let it hold you when the waiting feels long. Let it steady your mind when doubt tries to convince you that nothing is happening. Something is happening, and it is closer than the space between one breath and the next. There is also this truth. The person whose name is approaching your life has already been marked by my hand. They do not know the full scope of what I am doing, just as you do not know the full scope. But they have felt the exact same stirring. They have sensed that something major is shifting in their own life, even if they cannot put a name to it yet. Both of you are being drawn toward the exact same invisible center. And that center is my purpose for your lives together. My child, I need to speak to you about the heavy weight of impatience, because it is one of the single greatest enemies of what I am building. You have lived in a world that rewards speed above all else. Everything around you moves quickly, and you have been trained to believe that if something does not happen fast, it is not happening at all. But I do not operate on that limited timeline. My movements are deliberate. My arrangements are exact, and what I am setting in motion for your life cannot be rushed without being reduced in quality. When the name arrives, it will not come wrapped in urgency, chaos, or panic. It will come wrapped in absolute calm, and that calm will be your definitive signal. When something I am orchestrating finally reaches you, it does not arrive with anxiety. It arrives with a deep stillness that tells your soul, "This is real. This is settled. This is mine." Learn to distinguish between the two, because the world will offer you many things that feel exciting but carry no real substance. What I am giving you carries both weight and an unshakable peace. This person I have set apart for you has their own rhythm, their own pace, and their own way of moving through the world. And that rhythm will not always match yours perfectly at first. But that is absolutely not a sign that something is wrong. It is simply a sign that two distinct journeys are being woven into one. And the weaving requires patience. You will not merge overnight. You will not understand each other completely from the very first conversation. But with each honest exchange, and with each moment of vulnerability held with care, something incredibly strong will form between your souls. I am not giving you a finished product. I am giving you a beautiful partnership that will be shaped over time. And the shaping will require effort, but it will never require exhaustion. There is a massive difference between working to build something meaningful and struggling to keep something alive that was never meant to survive. This connection will not feel like survival. It will feel like natural growth. You have known the difference before. You have been in rooms where you felt the air leaving your lungs, where every single word you spoke was measured against the risk of it being misunderstood or weaponized against you. That is absolutely not what is coming. What is coming to you will feel like walking into wide open air after being trapped inside a closed room for far too long. You will breathe differently. You will speak differently, not because you are pretending, but because for the first time in a very long time, you will feel safe enough to be completely unguarded. I know exactly what safety means to your heart. I know it is not a word you use lightly. You have been in places where safety was promised but never delivered, where the people who should have protected you became the source of your deepest wounds. I am fully aware of all of that, and I am telling you now that what I am arranging is not a repetition of that toxic pattern, it is the breaking of it. This person will hold no malicious power over your life. They will never use your vulnerability as a weapon. They will meet your honesty with their own, and in that pure exchange, something will grow that neither of you could have ever built alone. That is the true nature of what I design. It never diminishes either person. It multiplies both. You may wonder how you will know for certain. You may worry that your judgment has been wrong before and could be wrong again. I understand that fear intimately. But listen to my voice. Your judgment was limited before because you were operating without my guidance in those moments. This time is completely different. I am walking ahead of your steps. I am clearing the path before your feet even touch the ground. The clarity you need will not come from overanalyzing every single detail. It will come from a deep, settled peace that does not argue with itself. When you feel that peace, you will know, and you will not need anyone else to confirm it for you. I will be the confirmation. My presence in the moment will be unmistakable. Do not look for flawless perfection in this person. Perfection is not what I promised you, and it is absolutely not what you need. What you need is someone who's willing to show up day after day with raw honesty and pure intention. Someone whose imperfections do not threaten your peace, but instead remind your spirit that realness has always been infinitely more valuable than appearances. That is exactly what I am giving you. Not a flawless person, but a faithful one. And true faithfulness is rarer than you know. It is not something this world teaches well, but it is something I have planted deep within this person through seasons of their own difficulty. They have learned what it costs to stay when leaving is easier, and that knowledge will shape the way they stand firmly beside you. There will be moments in this connection where the old wounds try to speak louder than the new truth. Old habits of suspicion, of second-guessing, and of constantly bracing for impact. When those moments come, and they will come, do not let them rule your spirit. Acknowledge them and then gently set them down. They belong to a chapter that is closing forever. They do not have a seat at the table. I am preparing for your future. I am not only building something beautiful between you and this person, I am rebuilding something deep within you, a trust in yourself that was damaged long before any relationship ever failed. A belief that you are fully capable of being loved without conditions, without performance, and without the exhausting effort of earning what should simply be given freely. That belief is returning to your soul, and it is returning because I am personally restoring it with my own hands. You will look back on this season of preparation and finally understand that it was not a punishment disguised as waiting. It was architecture. I was laying solid foundations in places you could not see, running support beams through your character, and pouring supernatural strength into the cracks that had been left by people who handled your heart carelessly. None of that work was accidental, and none of it was rushed. And when the structure I have been building finally becomes visible to your eyes, you will know that it was worth every single moment of uncertainty you endured while I was working. There is a kind of love that the world celebrates loudly, the kind that dazzles at first sight and fades away within months. That is absolutely not what I am bringing you. What I am bringing moves quietly. It does not need an audience. It does not require applause or public display. It proves itself in the quiet moments, in the way someone remembers what you said 3 weeks ago and brings it up because it truly mattered to them. In the way they notice when your voice changes even slightly, and in the way they choose to stay in the room when the conversation gets difficult, instead of walking away. That kind of love is not glamorous, but it is enduring, and it is the exact kind that will carry your life through seasons that test everything. I do not build connections that only work when things are easy. I build connections that hold fast when things are hard. And that is exactly what this one is. I want you to stop measuring what is coming by what has already failed. You have a habit of using the past as a measuring stick for the future, and it has kept your life smaller than you were ever meant to be. The past was not a preview, it was a passage. You moved through it, and it moved through you. And both of you are different now. The person you were in those dark moments is absolutely not the person who is standing here listening to me now. You are stronger. You are more honest with your own soul. You have learned to ask harder questions and sit patiently with uncomfortable answers. Those are not small things. Those are the markers of someone who has been shaped by fire and come through it with far more clarity than they had going in. I honor that in you, and I am matching it with someone who carries the same kind of hard-won understanding. The name will not come in the way you might expect. It may arrive through a voice you are not currently paying attention to. It may surface in a moment so ordinary you almost let it pass you by. But something deep inside your soul will catch it. Something inside you will hold it. The way your hand instinctively catches something falling before your mind even registers what it is. That instinct is not accidental. I placed it in you, and I sharpened it through everything you have been through. When it happens, do not fight it. Do not interrogate it until it loses its beautiful shape. Let it sit in your spirit the way rain sits on dry ground, soaking in slowly, reaching the deep places that need it most. True understanding does not always come instantly. Sometimes it comes in layers. And the first layer is simply this: recognition. Knowing that what you have just encountered truly matters. Knowing that it is not a random coincidence. Knowing that something far beyond your own human logic has placed it directly in your awareness. I did not bring your life this far just to leave you guessing in the final stretch. I am a finisher. What I begin, I bring to perfect completion. And this word I have spoken over your life is not half-formed. It is fully shaped. It is waiting for the exact moment when both you and this person are positioned exactly where you need to be. That moment is not far away. The preparations are nearly complete, not just on your side, but on theirs as well. They have been walking their own road of becoming, carrying their own questions, facing their own tests, and they have been completely faithful through it all, just as you have. When two people who have been individually refined through fire are finally brought together, the result is not fragile. It is forged. There is an image I want you to hold tightly in your mind. Two rivers that had been flowing through separate valleys for years, each carving its own path through solid rock and soil. They did not know they were heading toward the exact same destination. They could not see each other, but the terrain was shaped by my hand so that eventually, inevitably, they would converge. And when they do, the current becomes infinitely stronger than either could have ever been alone. That is exactly what I am doing with your life and theirs. Two separate journeys, each purposeful, each necessary, merging into a single current that moves with a power neither of you could have ever generated on your own. You will feel that power, not as force, but as flow. Not as pressure, but as divine momentum. And it will carry you both forward into wonderful things you have not yet imagined. I want you to understand something about what this connection will require from your life. It will never ask you to perform or to earn your place, but it will ask you to be fully present, not hiding behind old defenses, not running through rehearsed versions of yourself, but standing openly in who you are and trusting that it is enough. That will feel unfamiliar at first. You have spent so much time curating how others see you that the thought of being simply plainly yourself may feel like the most vulnerable thing I have ever asked of you. But it is also the most freeing. And once you taste that freedom, you will never want to go back to performing. You will wonder why you ever thought pretending was the safer option, when being known, truly known, is the only thing that ever brought your soul real rest. There's a massive difference between being admired from a safe distance and being loved up close. And what I am giving you is the second kind, the kind that does not require you to maintain a perfect image, the kind that holds you even when the image completely falls away. I am not finished speaking to you. There is still more your spirit needs to hear before I am done. Stay close to my presence. Keep your heart wide open. What I am about to say next will reach directly into the places where your deepest questions live, and it will begin to answer them in ways you did not expect. You were not created to walk through life guessing whether you are seen. You were made to be known deeply and without an apology to the world. And that is exactly what I am delivering into your hands. Not a shallow mirror that shows you only what you want to see, but a steady, faithful presence that reflects back the truth of who you are and loves what it finds there. There are seasons in your life that seem to exist only to test whether you would break under the pressure. Some of those seasons felt endless, as though they had no purpose except to wear down your spirit. But I want you to see them differently now. Those hard seasons were not wasted time. They were the kiln. They were the intense pressure that turned loose sand into something solid. And the person you became through them, is the exact person who is fully ready for what I am now placing before your life. I never waste difficulty. I never have. Every hard season you endured was producing something powerful inside you that comfort alone could never have built. Resilience, sharp discernment, and the rare ability to love without demanding proof of safety first. You may not see those qualities in yourself just yet, but I see them clearly. And so will the person whose name is on its way to your path. This connection will not be built on pretense. It will not be built on the versions of yourself you show the world when you are trying to impress people. It will be built on pure truth, on the unpolished, unrehearsed version of who you really are. And that version is the one I love most. That version is the one I have been refining, not to make you acceptable to someone else, but to help you accept yourself deeply enough that when someone truly sees your soul, you do not flinch. You have spent far too many years flinching. You have pulled back the moment someone got close. You have changed the subject when conversations reached the places that mattered most to your heart. I understand why. Those places were unprotected once, and the people who entered them did not treat them with care. But this time I'm standing guard at the entrance. No one is entering those sacred spaces unless I have personally prepared them to honor what they find. State your agreement if you feel this truth settling deep in your spirit. I want to tell you something about the way this person will love you. It will not always be loud or dramatic. It will not always be poetic, but it will be constant. And constancy is the one thing that has been missing from your life for much longer than you care to admit. You have been surrounded by people who arrived with big promises and departed with cheap excuses. That toxic pattern is ending today. What I am bringing is someone who understands that true love is not measured in grand gestures, but in daily decisions. The decision to stay honest, the decision to remain kind when frustration rises, and the decision to keep building even when the progress feels slow. Those are the righteous decisions that hold a life together, and this person has been learning to make them, just as you have. Neither of you is arriving at this connection unprepared. Both of you have been walking toward it through your own fires. And when you finally meet, the recognition will not need to be explained. It will simply be known. There will also be a grand purpose that extends far beyond the two of you. This connection is not isolated. It is part of something much larger that I am doing. Something that touches the lives of those around you in ways you have not yet imagined. When two people walk in perfect alignment with me, the effect is never contained within their own four walls. It reaches powerfully outward. It influences, it creates a stability that others are naturally drawn to, not because it is loud, but because it is real. The people around you will sense the difference, even if they cannot name it. They will notice that something has shifted in the very atmosphere of your life. You have always wanted your life to matter beyond yourself. You have carried that desire quietly, sometimes wondering if it was too ambitious or too unrealistic. It is neither. It is the divine design I placed inside you, and the person I am bringing will share that exact design. Together, you will build something that outlives the moment, something that leaves a permanent mark on the ground you walk on. I am not asking you to plan every single detail of that future right now. I am asking you to trust that the first step is the person I am revealing. Everything else flows naturally from that. The name is coming, the moment is coming, and when it arrives, you will never second guess it, because something in you will already know that this is exactly what you have been prepared for. You have lived with questions that had no answers. You have carried longings that felt too deep to speak out loud. I heard every single one of them. I held every one of them. And now I am beginning to answer them in ways you will instantly recognize as mine. Not flashy, not overwhelming, but unmistakably certain. I built you for this moment. I walked you through fires that were meant to refine you, not to destroy you. I allowed losses that were meant to make room, not to leave your life empty. And I held you through silences that were meant to sharpen your hearing, not to punish you with absence. Every single thread connects. Every piece fits perfectly. And the picture that is forming is infinitely more beautiful than you have ever dared to believe. Do not be afraid of what you are feeling right now, whether it is hope, uncertainty, or a strange mixture of both. It is all part of the process. I do not require you to arrive at this moment with perfect faith. I only require you to arrive with willingness. A willingness to trust me one more time. A willingness to believe that what I have spoken is not empty. And a willingness to open the door wide when I knock. Even if your hands are trembling when you reach for the handle, that is enough. Your willingness is enough. I will do the rest. I have been doing the rest all along, and I am not about to stop now. Not when you are this close to what I have been preparing, and not when the distance between promise and fulfillment has never been shorter than it is right now. My child, as I draw these words to their close, I want you to understand that everything I have spoken to you carries the weight of serious intention. Nothing was filler, nothing was padding. Every single sentence was placed with the exact same precision that I use when I set stars in their positions and rivers in their courses. You were never an afterthought in my design, and neither is this connection I am bringing to your life. The name is close now, closer than it was when I first began speaking to you. And I want you to know that when it comes, it will not feel like something foreign invading your life. It will feel like something returning, like a word you forgot you knew until you heard it spoken out loud again, like a melody that lived in the back of your mind, but never had a moment to surface until now. That is because this was always a part of your story. It was written before you could read. It was decided before you could choose. And it has been fiercely protected through every storm that tried to erase it. Nothing, no failure, no misstep, and no wrong turn has been strong enough to undo what I declared over your life before it ever began. You have doubted yourself more times than you can count. You have looked in the mirror and wondered if what you saw was truly worthy of the kind of love that lasts. I am telling you now, for the final time in this word, that the answer is yes. Not because you are without flaw, but because I do not measure worthiness the way the world does. I measure it by what I placed inside you. And what I placed inside you has never diminished, no matter what tried to cover it over. The person I am bringing will see exactly what I see, not perfectly, because they are human and their sight has natural limits, but they will see enough. They will see the depth in you that others rushed past. They will feel the steadiness in you that others mistook for mere quietness. They will value the parts of your soul that have been overlooked for so long you almost forgot they existed. And in being seen that way, something in you will awaken that has been asleep for far too long. That awakening is not something you need to force. It will happen naturally, the way a field thaws after a long season of frost. One day, the ice simply gives way to warmth, and what was buried begins to push through the surface again. That is exactly what is happening in your life right now, even as you listen to these words. I want you to carry this truth with you in the days ahead when doubt returns. And it will. I want you to remember what I have spoken, not as a vague memory, but as a fixed point you can anchor your soul to when the waters become rough. This word is not fragile. It does not dissolve under pressure. It stands firm because I stand behind it and I do not move. You will face moments where the waiting feels unbearable. You will face moments where the silence between this word and its fulfillment seems far too long. In those difficult moments, do not conclude that I have forgotten you. Conclude instead that I am still working. that the same hands that set this in motion are still shaping it, still refining it, and still bringing it to the exact point where it will arrive with maximum impact and minimum confusion. I do not deliver things early, and I do not deliver them late. I deliver them in the precise moment when they will be received fully and appreciated deeply. And that moment for this connection is being calibrated with the exact same care I use to hold the entire creation in perfect balance. You are not alone. You've never been alone. Even when the silence convinced you otherwise, I was in the silence. I was in the waiting. I was in the questions you could not answer, and the prayers you could not finish. I was in all of it, working, arranging, and preparing. And I am in this moment too, right here speaking to you with a clarity that I do not offer lightly. I am offering it to you because the time demands it, and because your heart is ready to receive it. The connection that is coming will not erase your past, but it will put your past in its proper place, behind you where it belongs. It will not fix everything overnight, but it will give you a faithful partner in the work of building something truly meaningful. And that partnership, grounded in trust, shaped by refinement, and held together by my hand, will be stronger than anything either of you has ever known. When the name comes, receive it. Do not overthink it. Do not resist it, and do not look for reasons why it cannot be true. Simply hold it close, let it settle, let it take deep root. And then watch as everything I have promised begins to unfold before your eyes. One step at a time, one day at a time, and one act of trust at a time. I have loved you through everything. I have kept you through everything. And now I am bringing you into something new. Not because you earned it through perfection, but because my purposes for your life have always included this exact moment. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with an open heart, and know that what I have prepared for you is already reaching out to meet you halfway. The ground is set. The season has turned. The name is near. And when it lands in your spirit, you will know without question that this was always meant to be yours. Go now with my peace resting upon you. Go with the absolute certainty that what I have set in motion cannot be undone by any force. And go knowing that the one I have chosen for you is already on their way. You are ready. You may not feel ready, but readiness is not a feeling. It is a position. And I have placed you in that position through every single step you have taken to reach this moment. You are exactly where you need to be, and the person I have chosen is exactly where they need to be. The only thing left is the moment I bring you together, and that moment is already written. Declare your amen if you receive everything I have spoken over your life today. We run on viewer support only for exclusive member-only content. Scan the QR code or see the pinned comment. God bless you. When the night falls on your heart and the world feels cold again, I'll be right there in the dark, holding tight through every pain. When the night falls on your heart and the world feels cold again, I'll be right there in the dark, holding tight through every pain. When the night falls on your heart and the world feels cold again, I'll be right there in the dark, holding tight through every pain. Amen.